Well, hello everybody, and welcome back here on Eiersholt farm. I've just taken the lazy option here and driven up to the stable. It's a little bit later than usual to be doing the animal duties, but it's the last day of autumn. We got everything cleaned up after the last quite intense harvest episode, and so now, this morning, we basically check up on the animals, see how they are doing. Generally do a bit of winter preparation. Things are winding down, but it's also coming up to the time where we might start fetching a decent price for some of all the grain that we have been harvesting over the last little while. So we're gonna get the animals done first, see how they're doing. I need to check how many male cows we got, because we don't necessarily want to keep those over winter and keep going around feeding them. I'll get the water running and then we'll just take a look at the cows. So as we can see, the very first cow there is a male. It's a 71 kilo Holstein. So it's obviously, it's probably one of the first calves we had on the farm. But scrolling down, mainly we got females, and we're gonna hang on to those because eventually they are going to replace obviously some of our existing herd as they get older, and eventually they're also of course going to start producing their own milk. And as you can see, a number of them are now coming into we still got quite a lot that are mature and breeding extra calves. So from a quick scan, I really only just saw the one male. I will have a bit more of a thorough look before we load him into a trailer and take him down to the animal dealer. But first, we'll get everything cleared out of here and get some straw in and some mixed feed as well for the cows. Keep them happy, and then we'll be heading down to have a look at the pigs as well. So that's the worst of the waste cleaned up. We'll get some straw put in. So we still have a couple of bales here in our straw blower, so that's not going to be a problem. The only slight snag here is that we basically don't really need to use it as a straw blower right now, because the bales kind of get detected and spread out pretty much as we drive in here. If I don't hit the wall, it's a bit bumpy right around here, and it's a bit heavy for this tractor, but you should see, there we go, that's the floor filling up there. That's a thing that's going to be fixed, I think, for the next version of the map coming up. I'll talk a little bit about that later, because there is a new version of the map under testing. I've been helping out, doing some of the testing, and it's quite thorough. So there's a lot going on. But since we got straw hooked on to the tractor here, we might as well head down to the pigs first and put straw down for them as well, and then we can come back and do the feeding of the cows. I can't remember if we have any food left in the mixer, or whether we need to get down to the mixing station and fill up. So obviously the pigs needs to be cleaned up a bit. As well. Here we can see we are putting the straw down for the pigs instead, and that's it, full up. We can take a quick look at the pigs while we're here as well. So we're now up to 438 pigs. They are simply breeding like crazy. We do have a few males, not very many again. The vast majority are females, but there are a couple in here. They're not big. We've got 8.6 there, a couple at 19 kilos. But I reckon, given the crazy growth of things here, it's either that or we try and sell off some of the ones that's getting up to a decent size. I mean, obviously these 24 kilo ones are not fertile yet. We need to get up to our original breeding pigs, I reckon, before we... There is a lot of pigs here. So here we are, the 213. These are part of the, I think it was just under 50 that we got originally. And they are just breeding like mad. But yeah, we're getting a lot of pigs. And most of them we will be keeping the pigs, I think, for now. Because 30 kilos is not really a particularly good weight. I think we need to get them up between around 75 to 100 kilos, and then we'll start thinking about selling some off, or maybe we'll start replacing some of the original breeding stock as well, of course. But that's straw in to help keep them warm, because as you can see, the temperature is only 2 degrees now. I just got to reverse out of here, then we'll head up and give the cows their mixed feed. So we have actually managed to empty the straw blower, as you can see, so maybe the pigs aren't completely full on straw. But it's pretty close. So we can leave that for now, but obviously first day of winter we'll need to get the straw blower filled back up again. I like this Gyrax Big Confor by Black Sheep Modding, because you can fold down the sides and then you can lay in your square bales, and obviously we've generated a lot of square straw bales here on the farm, so this one is very handy for that. So we have near enough 11,000 litres in our feed mixer here, so it might not fill the cows to absolutely 100%, but it'll definitely be more than enough for today. So while we're taking that in here, I realized obviously in the last episode we were manically trying to get the harvest in, and I carried on sort of into the night. We did manage to finish all the fields before the rain came back, but I was basically driving the last load of potatoes back when the rain came in. Just getting the feeder in here and we can get started. But yeah, in terms of harvest, we brought in a lot. We brought in 370,000 litres of corn off the field right behind the farm here. The millet field a bit further down gave us 118,000 litres, and that's basically going probably straight to pig feed, a lot of those two. And last but not least, we also of course harvested potatoes, and we got a huge amount of potatoes. I don't have the exact number because I've tipped them on the ground, and I will show you in a little while. But ballpark estimate is that we got about 400,000 litres out of that. So that is a pretty hefty sum of potatoes, more than we need for creating pig feed, so we will be able to sell some of them. I am toying with the idea whether we should install the potato washing mod and see if we can get a little bit of extra money out of it. It'll be a bit of a winter project perhaps, to try and clean some of them up and things like that. In the ideal world, I don't know, I would like it if when you put them in boxes you would also get a little bit more premium on them, so that, you know, if you washed, sorted and boxed up the potatoes, then that will be kind of a premium product compared to everything else. But that is us done with the Massey for now. We'll head down. We'll use the telehandler to clean up the pigs and sort out some more pig food for them as well from the mixer. So right now we're in the last day of autumn, but there isn't any more field work that's worth doing now. Ground temperatures are down to 3 degrees. In the field where we had millet, I did put winter barley in, but I'm slightly concerned that that might not actually germinate, because the ground temperatures has fallen quite quickly. So actually by the time I'd finished seeding it, ground temperatures was showing at 4 degrees, and I'm pretty sure that barley needs 5 degrees. Anyway, as we open this door, this is where we're storing the potatoes as well. And as you can see, there is a lot of potatoes, which is brilliant because we need them. for the pig food, and so from that perspective we certainly can't complain. I don't need this root bucket right now. I need the other one to scrape clean the floor of the pigs and then put some feed in, so we'll get on with that. Get the cleanliness up first, and then we will get feed dropped in. With the number of pigs that we got now, the feed requirement keep going up. So we're now about, I don't know, early to mid-autumn. I think we're looking at about 240,000 liters of feed for the year. Now I think we're up over 400,000 liters. So I think we can expect to start having to run more than a single shovel load in. Usually one shovel load of pig food was actually a bit too much, but I think we'll fit it in just fine now. So we did add a bit more to the mixer a couple of episodes ago. So we still have 199,000 liters of mixed pig feed here. So we're not going to run short straight away, but we now have all the ingredients to get some more created as well. So 2.6 tons roughly of pig food coming in to what is now turning out to be a very productive pig farm. So that shovel load took them up to, I'd say, about 90 to 95% full. So that's okay. That's going to last us fine. We do this every day. Usually I don't include it in all the episodes because it would get very repetitive if we just kept doing the same thing. But obviously winter is closing in. We've closed down the windbreaks, and we're going to start keeping the door closed here as well. And we should probably do the same up at the cows once we have put our telehandle back. So we'll head back up to the cows. We'll check how much milk we got and whether we need to make any adjustments to the stable now that the weather is getting much colder. So first things first, we are up to 21, almost 22,000 liters of milk. So I think we can quite happily get our truck out, get the milk tank and take that down to the dairy. But I just want to check in here because there is this nice feature where we can control things, and if we, oh, that's actually opening it up. We don't want to do that. We'll close it. I don't know if you can actually see this, but we have this kind of windbreak here that allows us to keep a little bit more sheltered. And I reckon we should head down here, close up. I know the doors out to the field are still open, but still, at least if we close up the doors here, it creates a little bit of area where warm air can get held back in the stable as well. Obviously we don't want it too warm during the summer, but there we go. So we do need to head down to the shop because we're not far off winter. We did get a bit of snow last year, not an awful lot, but we don't have a lot of salt left in this pack in here. We do have our salt spreader sitting there, but there is 500 liters left in it. So I reckon, just to be on the safe side, we'll probably go and pick up 1 or 2 more pallets of that as well. But first, we'll get that milk sorted. So as you can see here, I did get rid of the seed cleaner or the seed mixer where you could use grain to create seed, because now that we're using the realistic seeder mod, I didn't really want to keep just producing more magic seed. We do have some seed sitting in the silo here. I'm not going to get rid of that. I'm going to use that for any kind of fruit types that isn't compatible with the realistic seeder mod, and then I'm going to try and stick as much as I can with using the correct seed for whenever we can buy the right seeds. There are a few crop types. Oh, that's the wrong door. There are a few crop types that are not recognized still by the realistic seeder mod. I suspect there might be an update at some point where they add additional fruit types. But I like the concept that you don't just sort of pick different things. And obviously we had a little bit of issue with the bounciness of the pallets, but we sorted that out. So I'm going to stick with using that mod because I like the idea. I had talked previously about using the milk time mod as well, so that milk only kind of counts up twice a day to kind of simulate a milking time for the cows, which might be quite nice to do still, so that you get these couple of increments. But we've crept up over 22,000 litres while we've been doing the other things. So we'll get the truck filled up and we'll get that going down to the dairy, and we'll head down and we'll pick up 1 or 2 pallets of salt just to be ready for winter as well. Well, there goes the sign. So here we go. The fine folk at the Eiersholt vehicle shop has once again very kindly put it onto our trailer for us, and we'll get a couple of straps put down. I did end up buying 4 instead of 2, just to be on the safe side. Right now we have 190,000 euro. We're about to sell some milk, so we're going to be doing okay for money at least. And who knows, if we got some left over, this is one of those things that don't spoil. So, you know, we might as well get it sorted. So we are ready to sell our 22,000 litres of milk. That usually earns us a pretty penny. Although, recently I was back in FS17 just for a bit of fun and the roleplay series that I do, and I'd forgotten that with seasons the milk price jumps really wildly when you move into winter. With seasons in FS17, I don't think that's the case here in 19, but that's 77,000 euros extra in our pocket. Takes us up to 268,000 euro. We're doing quite well right now, but I'm gonna be a little bit cautious in terms of starting to buy in lots and lots of stuff right away. I think we might need to expand fields again, although I'm also we have bought in a couple of new tractors. We got some ground clearance equipment. We swapped out a seeder. I'm starting to wonder whether one sprayer, we do have a big self-propelled sprayer, the New Holland one, but I'm starting to wonder whether it's enough or whether we need more for crop treatment. We did also talk about whether we should go fully organic. We have a large slurry spreader and we should try and do as much of the fertilizing with that, and I'm still sort of slightly unconvinced about how much of an issue the weeds really are. We'll probably need to actually experiment with that. Maybe we should do that next year. So actually do a couple of fields where we just don't do anything about weeds and see if we feel that it's caused an issue. But we'll head back to the farm and we'll get our salt unloaded and milk trailer put away for now. So we probably should get this truck serviced as well. Right now I have the IT runner trailer sitting, it was getting serviced, and I wanted to check out if there were any options. We had some issues with it kind of getting very bouncy with the containers once I was using it out in the field to collect grain. But I think we've now narrowed that down, that's to do with the dynamic mud, which can be disabled if needs be. So we are going to be hanging onto the trailer, although I had for a moment actually thought about getting rid of it. So just for the moment, I think we'll put it in the shed over there so we can get the truck in and get that serviced. We may very well need the IT runner trailer and the grain container shortly, because as we get into early winter, we're going to start looking into selling off some of our grain. But for now, we'll get this truck sorted out. So 568 euros to get this repaired. Now obviously it's still looking worn, paint chips and everything like that, but it has been running a fair old number of hours, so I don't think we can complain about that, and at least the engine and the mechanics are good. So back up here on the farm, we obviously don't have the nice people from the vehicle shop and a little forklift to load things, so we'll need to probably get the Massey out and shift the salt. Now I know the snowblade and salt spreader was sitting up in the shed just as you come into the farm there, but last year we moved it down ahead of winter, and I think that was a good idea. And I think we might be able to, sliding a bit here, it's actually quite heavy, that salt. So we kind of got a little pallet area here anyway, where we got some baler twine, a little bit of leftover herbicide and stuff like that. So I reckon we can stick it in here together with, we got some of our forestry equipment here, stump grinder, the blade with the winch on. We've got an overloader for the telehandler, we've got a tree planter, baling twine, yeah, we got both herbicide and fertilizer sitting here. They were kind of surplus to requirement at one point. We should really just get them used up at some point, but they're sitting here for now. Obviously it's stuff that we've now paid for. So we'll see if we can put the salt in here and actually bring the snowblade and the spreader down. No harm in being prepared, but we actually got a pallet fork sitting here for the telehandler, so I'll just run over and grab the telehandler and we'll get that salt unloaded. So while that salt is getting unloaded, we'll get one of our T7s up and actually pick up the snowplow and move it down. I hope it doesn't snow even though we're doing this, but at least this way we are prepared if it should happen. I'll see if I can't remember how much is in here. I think we got room for what's left in the pallet over there, and then we got the 4 pallets now sitting down in the other shed. So I'll just get this salt spreader refilled here first with what's left in that bag, and then we'll put the snow plow on the front. We just dropped them off in the shed, we're not going to keep them on the tractor. It's just that if snow got really bad, then obviously having to drive all the way up here to the top shed before we can clear any snow would be a bit awkward. So we're moving it down closer to the farm and to the farmhouse, so if it happens, we're ready. So the telehandler's been put back away again, and we got room to maneuver here. Now I reckon we're more likely to need the salt spreader first, because if there's sign of a little sprinkling of snow, we can deal with it that way. So we'll put the snowplow in there, and then we'll reverse the spreader in so that that one is easiest to get hold of. So we've got the snowplow away. We've got a tractor that needs servicing as well. I've just been in here, but now I'm going back in again. Now, we don't actually have a lot of extra jobs to do now, apart from getting this tractor serviced. We could possibly sell off those couple of animals, but it's hardly worth it right now. As I mentioned earlier in the episode, there is a new version of the map coming out, and I have been involved in testing. I'm not going to sort of tell too much about what the changes are, but I think it's not a secret anymore that there's a lot of work going on to try and support the new forage extension mod, and as such we're going to have to possibly make some changes to the farm, but at the same time I kind of want to use the winter period as a good cutover point. So it basically means that when we wrap up today's episode, we're going to kind of be on a break until the next version of the map is out, and then I'm going to try and transfer over basically everything as much as I can. It's never entirely straightforward because the new version will require a new save game, but obviously I can do some edits on XMLs and stuff like that to try and bring over as much as I can. But there might be a few things that's a tiny bit different, but not an awful lot. I will try and stay true to where we are with the farm in terms of what we got in terms of seed and money and all that kind of stuff. But for now, I'm just going to put things away here, and then I think we're going to skip forward to the next day, because then we'll be into winter and the grain prices should start crawling up. So I think it's worth having a look at. We have a lot of grain sitting in silos around the place, so that might be a good thing just to check if we can start hauling a bit of grain, and obviously bring in a bit of extra cash so that we are ready for what new challenges may lie ahead with the next version of the map. But for now, just parking this up, and then we're actually in a situation where we can kind of take it easy for the rest of this day. So, nice clear blue skies, of course, but as you can see, the wet crop icon is still there. So I'm still really pleased that we got the harvest done in the last episode, because we wouldn't have been able to do it on a cold day like today. So I'm gonna head inside the house, and I'll see you in the morning. Whew, I really wish I could close this door sometimes, because it's cold now. We are into early winter. It's windy. I need to sort out the animals, but we've already seen that in this episode, so I'll take care of that off screen. But we are going to take a quick look at grain prices to see if there's anything that's actually good to sell now. So we have 302,000 liters of oat that is purely intended for selling. Now let's see if I try and sort here. 1849, but going down at the grain mill. So if we're quick, we could run some oats out to the grain mill. I think we'll try and get that done first thing here in the morning. We'll use our IT runner trailer, and it's cold. But I'll get in, get the truck warmed up. We'll need to get the other grain bin hooked on. We got one on the truck and we want one on the trailer, and that way we can carry about 90,000 liters of oat up to the grain mill fairly quickly. So we got our truck a bit warm, got the fans going to keep warm in here. We just need to pick up our IT trailer over here, hook that on the back, and get the grain bin on it, and then we'll be down pulling some oats out, ready for sale. Oats were always grown just with the intention of selling here on the farm, so that is our kind of primary cash crop. Everything else can, conceptually at least, be used for animal feed, but we have more than enough, and we can allow ourselves to sell some of it. So we got both of our trailers hooked on now, and we are just gonna get in by the silo here so we can get everything switched over to oats and start filling up. That's obviously gonna take a while, and these are big bins, and it's a lot of grain that we're gonna be shifting. So we're full up, 90,000 liters of oat, and we're going to be heading up to the grain mill. I think, although the price was going down, I'm pretty sure that we'll make it up there in a reasonable amount of time to still fetch a good price for some of this oat. And here's the old grain mill. There's no entrance on this side. We kind of got to go around and come down the other side, and then we'll be exiting that road we just saw there, so we can head back down to the farm. And we're coming down a bit of a steep hill here, so we're going to be taking it very, very easy. It's 10 o'clock in the morning now, so there shouldn't be any problems. And our unload point is just up here. So we're on to unloading the trailer. We got over 80,000 euros for the first load. And we'll see, we should be getting about the same for this one. Let's see, yeah, 81, almost 82,000, so that's 160,000 euros we just brought in there. That takes us up to 430,000. That is not bad, that's not bad at all. So that's our first load of the day dropped off. We'll check back, maybe I'll check back a little bit later to see if the price holds. I don't want to be rushing up here and find that the price has completely crashed in the meantime, because by the time we've been back and filled up. So we are going to be selling off one load of canola as well. We got over 330,000 liters of that, and I reckon we'll use the other grain trailer, so we're only going to be taking 59,000 liters out of that. We have more than enough for pig feed, but I would like to hold on to a little bit of it just for now. We can sell it sort of towards the end of winter or very early spring and still get a half decent price for it, I reckon. We're not going to be selling any corn. We're not going to be selling any potatoes in this episode, although potato selling will be a thing definitely at some point. But with a view of us heading back to the farm in the early morning mist to make a bit of money out of finally selling some of the grain that we've worked quite hard to get here in the second/third year on the farm, I'm gonna wrap up this episode here, and we are gonna be on a winter pause. I don't know exactly when the next version of the map is gonna be ready. It could take a little while. There's a lot of testing to do, but it hopefully won't be too long. And one thing is for sure, I will be back with the Eiersholt series. Actually, I've just basically got an email yesterday from YouTube congratulating me because Overcord Gaming has now reached 100 subscribers. But I'm going to pass that thank you straight on to you, everybody who watches, anybody who has subscribed. Thank you so very, very much for all the support and the kind and good comments and questions that is coming through on the channel. I'm really enjoying it, so, drop a comment, drop a like if you want to, you don't have to. But most of all, just thank you very much for watching, and do stop by now and again. There will be Eiersholt content. I might do something in between. I got our roleplay episode to wrap up, and there's something new happening on that account as well, if you like and are following that content as well. But here from Eiersholt, For now, is thank you very much from Overclocked Gaming, and see you again soon.